Prime Minister Mark Carney is headed to the Middle East and Africa this week for a pretty consequential trip where he's going to look at drumming up investment into Canada and trying to shore up the global world order. He heads to Abu Dhabi first, and he'll be looking at different ways of attracting investment into Canada, especially from the United Arab Emirates sovereign wealth funds. A big focus will be meeting with business leaders as well as government officials in the UAE. The visit is coming at a time where there's been a lot of concerns about the UAE having a role in the civil war in Sudan. The UAE government says that it's trying to build peace and that it's not supporting either side, but a UN panel of experts and numerous humanitarian groups have said that UAE is funding the Rapid Support Forces, which is a paramilitary group that the Biden administration had accused of doing a genocide in Darfur. So the visit comes at a pretty consequential time for Canada, both in terms of looking for investments to withstand the blow economically from these US tariffs, while also trying to carve out more of a role for Canada in things like major projects. On Friday, the Prime Minister will be heading from Abu Dhabi to Johannesburg, where South Africa is hosting the G20 summit. We'll have world leaders from some of the most advanced economies in the world. That includes the US, but US President Donald Trump has effectively ordered a boycott where there won't be American leaders there, American senior officials. You will still see China, Russia, India, a lot of the European heavyweights, a lot of different countries like Argentina, Saudi Arabia. This is also the first G20 summit that's happening on the African continent. And South Africa is really trying to advance the issues of the global South. So it comes at a time where, especially with cutbacks to foreign aid, a lot of the global South is looking at the global North, to countries like Canada, and saying, can we be more equitable partners here? Is there a way to sort of have more investment in developing countries? So we know that South Africa is going to push a lot on things like disaster resilience, about water security, but also having health systems and foreign aid systems that actually work for the world that we're living in right now. And there is some alignment with Canada on that. We saw under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau a big focus on reforming agencies like the World Bank, like the International Monetary Fund, so that there wouldn't be as much of a debt burden for these countries that are trying to deal with climate change, that are recovering from a lot of different issues. Mark Carney has sort of echoed a lot of that. We're also expecting some progress on some sort of a trade arrangement between South Africa and Canada. The South African High Commissioner in Ottawa has told the Canadian press that there's talks for something to arrange around certain industries. This might not be a trade deal per se. This might be more of an investment protection agreement, but it would touch on industries like agricultural business, high-tech technology, mining, the sectors that you're seeing a lot of complementary industries in Canada and South Africa. Prime Minister Mark Carney heads back to Ottawa, arriving around Sunday morning. The Canadian press will be with him for the whole trip, and please be sure to follow our coverage as he goes to these pretty consequential meetings.